Yo, what up? First off, salute to the LDBC. This video is inspired by my boy Nitty G. Not on Facebook a ton, but I went on there and I saw your post on my wall asking me my thoughts on the Spence Crawford situation. So what up, bro? So first of all, I don't do a ton of videos because it takes a lot of commitment and dedication to try to build a channel, and I haven't done that, so the subscribers is like low. So it's like, oh, who the hell wants to hear from me? But since you ask, I will record. The other reason, and probably the main reason, is when it comes to my perspective between 78 Black Fight Fan, Fanon, Ticket TV, BFTB, Blue Blood, Fred, like they really do a great job of breaking things down, and one of them or all of them hit the points that I would say anyway. So it's kind of just cool to just sit back and listen, man. But here goes. I am a Errol Spence fan. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I'm a Devin Haney fan. Those are the dudes I can say like I fully support. Everybody else, like I like certain people. Crawford is included in that. I like Crawford, or like his fight game. But when it comes to this situation, the thing that is really weird to me is that his fan base, they seem really, really illogical. Like, even if you try to be fair and just step back, I don't see how you can take a step back, see everything that's going on, and side or conclude that it's Spence's fault that the fight's not happening, etc. Like, I commented on a couple of posts, like, Spence is pretty much, he's doing what he said he was going to do, and that's been, reiterated plenty of times, so I don't need to go into that. But I just feel like Crawford's fan base is a little illogical. Especially when they talk about the rest of the PBC fighters. Like, when you bring up a certain person, they seem to try to like downplay the guy you bring up, whether it be Danny Garcia or why he can't fight Sean Porter, or I've heard like Ugas is a nobody, and etc. And the question I would have for them is, all right, so let's just say it's Spence's fault. He's ducking. Let's say Manny's ducking, right? When you talk about Garcia, okay, he's not worth this. Okay, you talk about this guy, he's not worth that. Him and Sean's now they're all of a sudden they're great friends, which is interesting. Like, who would you be okay for him to fight? You're talking about belts, and if a guy doesn't have a belt, then it's not worth it. Meanwhile, there's only other guys in the division with the belt. And the reason why I bring that up is, as a Spence fan, like, I kind of like scroll down memory lane. Like, the dude that I've been supporting was looking for the best fights. He wasn't just saying, of course he wanted to fight the champions, but he wasn't just saying, he was looking for top competition. If you don't believe me, I can go back to when he was the IBF champion, and Sean Porter, from what I remember, did not have a belt, but he was looking for a fight, and everybody seemed to be ducking. He offered Sean Porter a title shot with no belt to get the belt that he lost already. So it's like, this dude is looking for the smoke, where the other dude seems to be just kind of talking. So I don't see how you would be, looking at this situation and just going like, oh, well, Spence said, people overblow the other side of the street stuff. It's just a whole lot of just nonsense that goes into that. I really think Spence's accident put a monkey wrench in their plan. And what I mean is, I think that if Spence doesn't get hurt, I think that after that Mean Machine fight, I think Crawford probably does call Spence out by name. They may not have tried to make the fight, but I do think he would have said a specific name. But at the time that Mean Machine and Crawford fought, nobody knew how Spence was doing. So it wouldn't have made sense for him to call him out by name. Now, knowing what we know now, like later, Spence came out and said, I don't need tune-ups and, all of that, then, it kind of looks like he could have done that. But not knowing, he looked ridiculous saying, I want to fight Errol Spence. So that's when they, in my opinion, resorted to PBC fighters, which is all smoke and mirrors, because when you break it down, it's like you don't want to fight this dude, and you know, it just makes no sense. But with having the accident, like I said, it was almost like some divine intervention type shit. It was really weird because it's like it threw a monkey wrench in the plan that they had on the other side too. And it's hard to say divine intervention when somebody's life was on the line that way. But given that he wasn't severely injured, he didn't hurt anybody else, like all of the things at play, it really was like an act of God for this to happen. And as a Spence fan, like I remember before all of this, after even really, I want to say before the Porter fight, but let's just use the time like right around the Porter fight ended, right? I was in a session with a client, right? And this client is high functioning. So a lot of it, we just like, we found a common bond in talking about boxing. And he's like really knowledgeable about boxing. And he actually had some close ties with some people that are familiar with the Spence camp. And, you know, when we would talk about our common interests of being fans of Spence, like there were certain things that worried us, just like, man, like I hope he's straight, hope he stay committed. And, you know, it was just, you know, when you start seeing stuff about, you know, him not being connected to Blu-ray, him not, you know, keeping his weight down, you start like wondering if he, you know, as focused as he was before. Like he, you know, it's his business, he could do whatever he want to do, but you just start noticing differences in kind of how he was moving. So like as fans, we were just kind of like, man, hope he get right, man, because, you know, maybe that version of Errol Spence on the path that he was on, because he's so skilled and talented and such a dog, but maybe he wasn't paying attention to detail as much. Maybe that version of Errol Spence not getting injured and just keep continuing on that path, maybe he shows some slippage in his game. Maybe that version of Spence goes in against Crawford, who's super dedicated. Maybe, you know, it's closer than it should be, or maybe he loses, who knows? But when I say divine intervention, it's like, it's almost like it handicapped what Top Rank was trying to do. Handicap that whole plan, because you couldn't just rely on using Spence to promote your fight. And then on the other side, it refocused Errol, hopefully, and it, you know, made him dedicate himself back to, you know, the things that got him to that point, made him, you know, just sharpen up altogether from being, you know, a dad, just a man, just an athlete, just knowing that you have a bigger purpose. It seems like that was like, man, just, you know, a great wake-up call. And it kind of hit both things. So I don't know, man, you know, maybe that's just way off and I'm tripping, but that's just kind of what crosses my mind with this situation. But as far as like Spence Crawford, I don't understand how you could side with that Crawford. I don't understand that. I don't, like, who do you want to see him fight? Like if you're saying Danny's a nobody and you're saying, that's another thing, the Sean Porter thing. I don't know how great of friends they are, but man, does it look strange that, like, I've never seen, I'll give you an example. When Errol Spence fought Kell Brook, weren't Sean and Kenny there? Didn't Kenny say that Errol was listening to him in the corner and he told him to go get him? And couldn't they have, like, you could have said, oh, well, I don't really want to fight Sean because I'm close with his dad and he was my trainer. He could have used all that. But Errol, man, he carries himself in a way that is very easy to be a fan of his. It's so easy. I've never seen them. Maybe they have. I'm not. Do they go to each other's fights? Like, I've never seen. I didn't see. You know, Bud didn't go to. Matter of fact, Bud was supposed to be there at the Ocampo fight when Spence fought Ocampo. I remember I was sitting by Black Fight Fan, and he said he got a text from Bomac and they were supposed to be in the building and pull up and all that, and they never did. Like, it just seems like everything they do is just phony. Like, I remember back when Bomac was on either Smoke City Mobcast or I think it was that, but he was talking about, this was back when it was all about Keith Thurman. He was saying Keith Thurman was the top dude in the division, and he was trying to downplay Errol Spence. And it was obvious that it was bullshit because he would say stuff like, trying to say like, okay, he would say there are other guys that are better at this and that. And then when they asked him like who, and that's what I think, like who's better at this or that, and he wouldn't name anybody. You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous, man. It was just like, it'd be like if I said, such and such isn't the strongest puncher, and you said who is, I would be able to say, this dude hits harder, this dude does this dude does that. But he didn't do that. He just would say that Errol wasn't this or that. And then when you press him on it, he wasn't giving any answers. Because any answer that he gave would have let you know that it was ridiculous. Because it was obvious that was the case. So there's just been a whole lot of, like they say, smoke and mirrors with that whole situation. They know what it is. Everybody know what it is. Like, they know what it is with Spence. The dude is serious. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to support the dude. And that's win or lose, too, because I just like the way the dude carries himself. Anytime I see an athlete that is just solid, just seems like a solid person that carries himself the right way and then has that level of talent, I'm rocking. So whether it be Spence, Wilder, or Devin Haney, I'm rocking. So those are my thoughts on it, man. I kind of freestyled it. I'm all over the place. Hopefully it don't sound too ridiculous. I'll watch it back. If it sounds stupid, I'll try to re-record it. But to answer your question, my brother, I'm rocking with Spence on this one. I don't get how anybody could really say otherwise, just from if you took people that didn't know anything about anything and just listened to the storyline, the facts, the timelines, like, there's no way in hell they would be like, yeah, Spence is avoiding Crawford. Like, and I really don't get how they keep talking about, the other side of the street stuff when nothing has changed. Like, it's always been, hey, look, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna come smoke you. That's what it's been. So I don't get it. But I hope that whoever Terrence Crawford fights next is a good fighter. It'd just be dope, just for boxing's sake, for him to fight good fighters. Just to see him as a person that likes watching him fight. I want to see him just fight good fighters. I don't care about nothing else, man. I just want to see you fight good fighters. So salute to the LDBC, and that's that. And salute Nitty G for inspiring me, man. So appreciate you. Peace.